I have no real segue for this one.
Good.
So I'm just gonna drop it. Titanfall 2 is now available
Titan
via
drop it.
EA Access, which means it's free to play if you have a subscription. Just for your information, the subscription is either $5 a week, not a week,
Whoa.
per month,
Oh,
or
no.
$30 per year, which is decent. I think if you have like the EA games on there, I think
Excuse
Dragon
me,
Age
30
Inquisition,
per year?
$30 per year,
And
and you get a whole
okay.
backlog
And
of
5
games.
per week, right?
5 per month.
Okay.
So not 5 per week. That would be ridiculous, I would think. But yeah, who knows? Anyway, you get a whole backlog of games. You have the EA Vault that you can play games for free. And usually when a game comes out, you can already preload them, play the first 10 hours a week beforehand. So I think that for people that like the games EA makes, it's a good thing. But especially for Titanfall, I feel that there's a shift on focus because, it was first paid, but now they do it used to be a retail game. It's now, it relies heavily on in-game purchasables, which usually are just cosmetic upgrades. But I took a look a couple of days ago, and there are things like their skin pack for €5 or a Titan pack for 25, and that kind of stuff.
So is it purely cosmetic, or are they actually like giving you an unfair advantage by being able to?
No.
purchase weapon upgrades?
It's cosmetics primarily, and
Okay.
I think there's also something like if you have those perks, you can already unlock them by paying cash. But those perks are good, but they don't give you an unfair advantage or anything like that.
No, they're just perks that you would unlock later in game
Progressively,
anyway.
yeah. My first question would be, are you two still playing Titanfall? Probably not.
No.
Nope.
But I thought, why not ask? And are you interested in coming back to the game?
No.
I am kind of. I do kind of want to play some more because I really enjoyed the time that I spent with it.
Yeah, I don't want to be snarky. I really enjoyed it back when we played it back in December, I think. It's a really good game, but I don't see myself putting in the hours to get really competitive with it.
Yeah, that's for me always the sticking point. I think I've talked about it before that I just don't want to pump in hundreds of hours to get sort of at a good level for multiplayer games.
Well, I think in Titanfall 2 they handled that pretty well because you never really have the feeling that you're doing poorly in a game.
Well,
No, that's true.
Yeah, and that's the reason that I like Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
That you feel like you're good, even if you're shitty, you feel like you're good, and that's the one
It's a
reason that
pilot.
I feel
Yeah,
like
we
I
can win
just
this.
kind of get back into it more easily.
Yeah. No, I think I have the same feeling. And if you don't like competitive play, they also introduced a horde mode actually this week, which was also available in Titanfall 1, if I remember correctly, and they now have it also available in Titanfall 2, where you have to fight off 5 waves of
7.
enemies, and between the waves you have, I think, option or the possibility to purchase upgrades and ammo packs and that kind of stuff.
That's a dig against Splatoon.
You think?
Yeah, no, well...
No, not Gears of War 2 or...
No. Just the fact that... Did we talk about this? If I may segue into Splatoon's
I don't think we did.
multiplayer ridiculousness.
Yeah, sure.
briefly?
We didn't, I think. I'm not sure that there was a horde mode in Splatoon 2. So
No, there is.
please go ahead.
No, I was mostly reminded of this because of what you mentioned about the lobby. Because in Splatoon 2 is really fun, but it has some unbelievably bad, just flat out bad design decisions. Like you're not able to change your weapon loadout in while waiting for a match to start. Like when you're in the matchmaking menu, you can't do anything but mess around with the music.
You can't even exit the matchmaking menu.
No. Once you decide that you're gonna play a match, you are in there.
You're locked.
You're locked in there, yeah. And so if you want to change your weapon, you gotta pretty much gotta go back to the main menu. Which
Jesus,
is
really?
Yeah, it's really archaic. And besides that, didn't we talk? No, we didn't talk about the voice chat app, the Nintendo Switch app.
We sort of did, I think. We touched upon it.
Yeah, but
it was really ridiculous.
I got the chance to
wait,
use
what?
it.
Please tell me. Is it everything I think it is?
Really not good. It's really bad.
How angry does it make you?
It made me very angry. I'm glad you asked.
No, please go ahead, because I understand the feeling.
it's because I was playing it with a friend of ours who lives in Japan, and so he made a lobby, and I think in order to come together, I had to join both his in-game lobby and his lobby in the app, at which point voice chat would start. Okay. So voice chat, of course, I don't have the ridiculous dongle that would be required. I don't know. First, it would require like an extension cord from the Switch.
I'm not sure what
from
you need.
the Switch to no, you know
to
the
phone,
dongle,
right?
Where you plug it into both your phone and your Switch, so you can listen to the in-game audio and your friend. So I don't have that, so I just turned down the volume on my TV. And okay, so we started talking, and I turned off the screen to my phone because, well, phones have batteries. But that wasn't happening. That wasn't happening. You gotta keep the screen on. You cannot minimize the app. You have to leave it on that exact screen.
This is a YouTube kind of thing then, where you cannot exit the app, or with YouTube it makes sense. With this, it absolutely doesn't.
With a voice chat app, it's baffling. It's
Jesus.
So you basically you are tethered. You are completely constrained by wires if you want to use this, because you got to plug in your phone. You got to plug in this freakish adapter into your Switch. You got to use it for your headphones. You got to get an extension cable for your Switch. It's I don't know what it is, but it ain't good. That much I'll tell you.
Because usually you have your Switch next to your TV, right? If it's hooked in.
Yeah.
And you have to have a cable from your Switch. I'm assuming that you're playing from your couch.
Yep.
And Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Nintendo.
I knew it was bad, but
it's really the stupidest thing I've seen in a long time.
That is really ridiculous.
And the game is really fun. So this is there's a bunch of sort of disappointing stuff around it. Just some really strange design decisions.
Well, especially when you talk about not being able to leave the match, or not being able to change your loadout, which is usually kind of essential in a competitive multiplayer shooter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Panda and we played it last week, I think. And you can see our gameplay on the YouTube channel.
You can.
It's really good. Panda's just running around in circles across the map. He's painting every little corner.
Yes, it's riveting gameplay.
Nice.
But we mentioned there that this is sort of, we finally have the proof that Nintendo never looks at anything that their competition is making.
We'll just do our own thing.
Yeah.
Competition doesn't exist.
Well,
we are the gaming market.
If you completely take out the ridiculous app and playing from a distance, you can't even really play together when you're in the same room.
Well, I think the problem was that you had your... I don't know. You can justify this, but... so you had your Switch docked, hooked up to the TV because we were recording, and I was sitting next to Panda on the couch. And we were getting connection errors. And this is not over through Wi-Fi. This is local play, mind you. So the solution turned out to be that I had to move closer to Panda's Switch. And I was only like 2 meters away from it.
In the first place.
Yeah. It's...
But and then we finally got it to work. But then you can't select if you want to be on the same team.
Oh, yeah.
And
no. This is over Wi-Fi. What you're talking about now?
Was that? Well, yeah, we did play
local play. We had some connection errors while we were sitting in the same room, and then we were playing over Wi-Fi. We played some Turf War, and we couldn't.
and it was very difficult to, like, sometimes what team are you on? I don't know. Oh, I think you're on the other team. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's random which team you are on. So you click play with friends, but your friend may just as well be on the other team.
They want to make this
with friends. Get wrecked by friends.
Yeah.
Well, I think that Nintendo really wants to make this an esport, but point of esports is working together in a team.
I think you can, but you have to go up to league battle.
Yeah. I think that but you can't do that until you're like level 10 or something.
But that's really ridiculous. I mean, if you're doing just normal play, you have to be able to play with friends. Why only limit that to league play or ranked play that you can create teams? That's like in the countless of hours or years that MOBAs have already been a thing, that has already been established. You have to have that in normal play as well because it doesn't make sense.
We're starting from scratch.
We do not know what MOBAs are.
And we're making all the bad decisions while we do it.
Are there other games?
What? There was Splatoon 1, but, you know...
Overwatch, of course, has competitive mode where you play in a team. But you can also just do quick play in a team.
What's an Overwatch?
What's an Overwatch? It's ridiculous. Oh, Nintendo.
Okay.
Why?
Yep.
Do you want to get back to the Titanfall, or do you still want to rant about Splatoon 2? Because I'm fine either way at this point.
I desperately want to get back to Titanfall.
Alright, then it was sort of a bittersweet article that I read about Titanfall 2 as well, because it's apparently the game was a little bit, yeah, but for other reasons. Apparently it was successful, the CEO said of Respawn, but they hoped for more. I haven't seen concrete sales figures, but the fact that they say it was successful and they're broadening the franchise, they're also releasing, of course, a mobile game. Does give hope for the future. They're releasing, I think it's called Titanfall Assault, which is sort of a RTS type of thing on your smartphone.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's cool. Nice that they still have faith in the franchise then.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when they say it was successful, but of course, because of Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty, that the sales weren't as high as they were expecting. But maybe this is still... You sold 1 million copies, you're good. No, but this gives hope for Titanfall 3, or at least the longevity of Titanfall 2, because they have been releasing a lot of free DLC, and, you know, it's free. What is financing that decision? So
that if you make a good game, even if it's marketed like horribly, if you have a genuinely good or at least enjoyable game that people, not always, but you know, they tend to find the game long term, and it's not all about the marketing in the first 2 months or something.
Well, it helps.
The fact that it helps. Yeah. The fact that it had a huge price drop like 3 months out was also maybe something.
This game had to be saved.
Yeah. But apparently it was saved, and that makes me sort of happy. I'm still hoping sort of for a voice pack in Titanfall 2. And I know that in Titanfall 1 they had voice packs for the Titans, and you had the Japanese voice pack for your Titan, and that was actually kind of cool. So I'm still hoping that they will bring that to Titanfall 2 as well.
Titan,
and
do you
talking
want to know
about
my fax
yeah, it would be great if the Japanese Titan was sort of a fax, or had at least a fax built in.